Welcome to the Nikki Clarke Show. We're transforming lives one story at a time. And I'm your host, Dr. Nikki Clarke. Today's guest is an inspiring educator, advocate, and founder who's making a meaningful impact in the lives of children and families through creativity, learning, and empowerment. Joining us today is Wendy Ann Marquenie, founder of Genius and His Friends. And through her work, Wendy Ann is helping children embrace confidence, emotional growth, creativity, and positive values while creating supportive spaces where young minds can thrive. Her mission is rooted in encouraging children to recognize their gifts, celebrate individuality, and build foundations for the future. Today, we'll be discussing youth empowerment, education, creativity, emotional wellness, and the inspiration behind Genius and His Friends. Please join me in welcoming Wendy Ann Marquenie to the show. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you, Nikki. That was quite an introduction. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure. So can you tell us the inspiration behind creating Genius and His Friends?
Yes, my mentor, Bob Proctor, I studied many of his programs and went over to Canada to attend one of his events. And everything that I was learning, I wanted to have that incorporated into books and programs that in a language that children can understand. So through the books and the programs, they inspire our children to imagine, to dream so they can achieve and succeed.
Excellent. And can you tell us a little bit about your background leading up to creating this?
Actually, by trade, I am a dance teacher. So I have taught dance to children as young as 3 right up to elderly people age 18 and above. And it's really wonderful when you can teach a little child, and if they don't get it, then you sort of incorporate another way of explaining something. And then when they get it, the smile on their face is just, you think, oh, that is so wonderful. And that's what I tried to put in with the books and the programs, to put it in a way that they would understand. And then, yes, so that's how it all started. And then I was a bit unwell, and someone sent me a book, You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And I read the book and I got hooked on the material. It actually changed the direction and the path of my life. And I wanted to then create the books and the programs for people. So, yes.
Amazing. Well, he was quite a powerful man, and I did have the pleasure of meeting his wife, Linda. And she was a guest on the show a few years ago, and she's quite amazing.
Yeah, she's a lovely lady. Yes.
Yes. What does the name Genius and His Friends represent, and what message do you hope children receive from it?
Well, genius represents the mind, and his friends represent these characteristics or faculties that we have in our mind. And that is to do with imagination, intuition, our will, our memory, our reason, and our perception. So these characters help children to understand who they are. They help them to understand their emotions, to make decisions, and to actually communicate with people and fit in with the world around them because they understand who they are. In the programs and the books, the beginning and the ending of each book, I have this paragraph. It says, I am unique as you can see. There is no one else in the world like me. So our children, I like to have the children understand that they are unique, and the way they think is not exactly the same as the way their parents think or their best friend thinks. Right. But that's okay. That's because they are unique and that's the way they are. And embrace
Absolutely.
it. Be positive, yes.
And embrace it, yes. Why is it so important to nurture confidence and creativity in children at an early age?
Well, when we are young, our imagination is absolutely wonderful. So everything is created through your imagination. The clothes that we've got on, the show that we've created, the desk, everything starts off in the imagination. So that's
Mhm.
why it's important to nurture the imagination. And somehow when we get to school, we lose that ability to imagine, and we need to nurture it, because that's how industries are created. New technology is created. Someone thought of it first and then created it in the real world. Um, I was working for an after school care program, and a young girl came up. She loved writing. So she wanted to write a story, but she wasn't quite sure, what to write about. So I gave her this sentence: the cat ran up the tree. So she looked at me and she thought, I said, well, okay, have a think about what transpired before the cat ran up the tree. How did the cat run up the tree? So that got her imagination going. Within 1 hour of that afternoon session, she had written her story, she had
Mhm.
illustrated her story, and she was going to
Yes,
present it to the teacher in the class. And that is just wonderful.
that's beautiful. Well, let's talk about some of the challenges many children are facing today, emotionally, socially, and academically. Can you identify some of those challenges?
The challenges today are, well, we've got, social media, we've got, um, there's a lot going on for the children to comprehend and understand. So I come from the part where if we can have the children learn a particular way to think, then that will help them to navigate the challenges that they face today. If we can
Mhm.
help them to be confident in themselves, to believe in their own abilities, that creates a great foundation for them to be able to work through the challenges. Yes. I have in the program, I've written out what are some things that make you unique. And we've got
Mhm.
obviously your fingerprints that makes us unique. And we've got our DNA. But there's one other important thing that makes you unique, and that's your thinking. Your mind makes you unique. Because us humans, we operate through thinking. All the other animals in the universe, they operate by instinct, but we have this ability to think. We have this ability to reason out problems, and that's helps the children to build their confidence and self-esteem to create the success that they want in their life.
I love that. Thank you. In your experience, how important is representation and positive role models for young people?
It is extremely important. As a child, they look up to their parents, their grandparents. Then they've got what they listen on the television, social media. Then they've got the teachers. So everyone around them, if they're in a sporting activity, you've got your coaches. So the children are constantly looking up to their role models. So it's important that, yes, it's nice to look up and they copy. You've got to be very careful. They copy everything that from their parents and stuff. So, yes, we just want them to understand that, yes, even though you look up to your role models, you can still have your own beliefs and you can still have your own perception of what's going on around you and the people that you meet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What has been the most rewarding moment for you since launching Genius and His Friends?
Yeah, there's been a lot of rewarding moments. There was a time I ran the pilot in the UK in a couple of different schools. It was a six week program. Now, halfway through the program, there was a student in the class. Now, he didn't fit into the sporty type. He wasn't that. He didn't have that. Didn't do very well in his exams at that point. But during the course of the
Mhm.
6 weeks, they had a maths exam, and the teacher came up to him the next day and said, "Wow, you've done so much better in your maths exam. Congratulations." And he said, he turned around to his teacher and he said, "Yes, miss, I used my mind." And that things, little instances like that just resonate. And I think, yes, if we can have one child at a time to realize that they do have this inner potential. And it's our job as mentors and coaches to bring that inner genius out so they can achieve anything that they want to in life. So he put in the work and he did better in exam, but he had to think about that first in order to do the work. So if you want to achieve something, you've got to put in the work. It just doesn't happen like that. So yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great point. So how do you hope your programs and initiatives will impact future generations?
Future generations, I would like to see future generations understanding and accepting themselves, develop the confidence and the self-belief to obtain whatever success they desire throughout in life. Not success is different to every single person, but it's what success means to you. I mean, you might grow up and you might just want to be a great mother. Well, that's success to you. Some people want to achieve and become a pilot or a police person. So that's success to them. So that's what I hope for the future generations.
Love it. Are there any upcoming projects or books or events or movies that you're looking to do in the future?
Yes, I've actually signed an agreement with an educational platform in America, and that will be Genius and his friends will be exposed to at least 113,000 schools in USA, then schools in Canada, South America, and many other countries, which is really great. The more children that has access to Genius and his friends, and the parents that have access, it's absolutely wonderful. So that's good. And also we've got I've created a animated TV series called Generation Genius. So at the moment we are putting together our team and applying for grants, and so that we can have the series produced, which will be absolutely fantastic. So yes, so that takes Generation Genius to the next level.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on that. And I'm excited to see what comes next with the movie and the series. That's just absolutely brilliant. So finally, our final question, where can viewers connect with you and learn more about Genius and his friends?
They can connect with me through my website, innergeniusglobal.com. The books are available on the website. They're also available through Amazon. When I have the link to this educational platform in America, can I give it to you so you can then let your readers know where to access the programs? Now, these programs are all curriculum aligned, SEL, and they are tools and resources for teachers, homeschooling, and the separate one for tools and resources for parents as well. So when I get the link, I'll send it through to you, Nikki, and then you can let the readers know. But everything's on my website for you to have a look.
Absolutely. Are you on Instagram, LinkedIn?
I am on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn, also Facebook. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I appreciate your time. It's been wonderful chatting with you and hearing all the many wonderful initiatives that you have going. And I really hope that the movies and the TV series is just a launching pad for so many other wonderful series to come. So again, Wendy Ann, thank you very much for your time. And I want to thank everyone who tuned in to watch another amazing, inspirational, and transformational story on the Nikki Clarke Show. So, Wendy Marquenie, appreciate you. Please follow Wendy Ann on social media. And I want to thank you again. God bless you. Stay informed. Stay transformed. See you next time. Bye for now.